Okay, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. Thank you all for joining today. I sincerely miss seeing all of you in person and wish that we could be together, but times have changed. So we're going to try to do this virtual event and see how that goes. I am excited. I'm pretty proud of what we've been able to put together. We had some amazing plants that were willing to open their doors and let us chat with them and see what they're doing. So I think that we've got some great plants to see in the upcoming days. We also have some great speakers that I'm very excited for you to hear from. And I think their information is really timely and relevant, and you'll get some good takeaways from that. So let me talk about the platform for a little bit. You can see on the right, you'll see some icons that you can use to interact. There's a list of attendees, there's a chat box, and then there is a Q&A box that you can also use. The chat box, you can send a chat directly, or you can send a chat to the entire group and interact that way. If you'd like to send a chat directly to one attendee in particular, just go to the attendee list, find that person, and then you can send a direct chat to that person as well. If you need something from either myself or Marge, or my assistant, you can direct message us that way as well. We do ask that throughout the presentations, if you have questions for either the plant tour hosts or the presenters, please put them in the question and answer box, and we'll review those at the end of each presentation. On the bottom, there is an icon to send some interactions, a thumbs up, something like that, to let everybody know that you're, that you like what you're seeing. There is a raise a hand option, but we're not really using that because most of our presentations, the tours obviously are videos, so there's not really any need to raise your hand. If you have questions, just put them in the question and answer box. After each session, and when you first came in today, there were tables. So after each session, you'll be brought back to that lounge, and I do encourage you to have a seat at a table, sit and chat with each other. The best way that we could make to network at this event, closest that we could get. Just make sure to turn on your audio and video buttons, and then you'll be able to see the other people at your table and have a conversation. Okay, so we're going to start out today with a tour of Unalam. Unalam is a glulam manufacturer in Unadilla, New York, and they craft high-tech wood solutions for today's building needs. Their motto is, if it can be done with wood, Unalam can do it. And you're about to see some very impressive projects that Unalam has created. So go ahead, let's start the tour.
The building industry is undergoing a revolution worldwide. Wood is emerging as the natural choice for architectural projects, large and small. Unalam, an upstate New York glulam manufacturer, has been at the forefront of this charge for over 100 years. Owned and operated by the Cott family since 1892, Unalam was an early adopter of glulam technology. The company's unrelenting standards of quality and beauty have steadily driven demand for its products throughout the architectural landscape. Unalam's most notable projects have included S-curved arches for the Bethel Woods Center for the Arts, the enclosure for the largest Buddha statue in the Western Hemisphere, and what is believed to be the world's longest glulam beam in the Downsville Covered Bridge, nearly 175 feet. A trailblazer in the industry, Unalam is grounded in a rich company history of innovation.
We have quite a legacy of leadership here at Unalam. My great-great-grandfather, J.W. Van Cott, started this as a lumber and feed business back in 1892. We had a large customer in Vermont that we were milling silo staves for. They went bankrupt, leaving us with a huge inventory of excess silo staves. Well, my great-grandfather, Frank Van Cott, took that as an opportunity to build our own silo. Frank knew that we needed to do something to differentiate our silo in the marketplace, so he invented the Unadilla Silo Continuous Door Front Sure Step system, and that was the birth of the Unadilla Silo Company.
Opportunity knocked again in 1928, this time for Frank's son, Leon.
Glulam was a new technology being developed in Germany and Austria. And my grandfather, Leon, saw the potential that Glulam had to serve our customers' building needs. Seeking to create a glue-laminated timber frame chicken coop for our farm customers, Leon started experimenting with a chemist from Borden's Glue Factory down in Bainbridge. Along came the Great Depression and then World War II, so there weren't the opportunities that we needed to launch a new product. But my grandfather always had it in the back of his mind, and in the late 50s we started making barn rafters out of glulam and selling it to our farm customers. The demand was so great, we outgrew our plant in Unadilla and had to move here to Sydney in 1963, and we've been going strong here ever since.
Leif Van Cott and Zoe Vandermeulen represent the 6th generation of Van Cott leadership at Unalam.
I take great pride in the fact that my family's been at the heart of this industry since the technology was first invented. It's funny, I spent my junior year of college studying abroad in Innsbruck, Austria, and my host family, when they first took me to their house, they wanted to show me its construction because it was made with this uniquely Austrian building technique called hole slime. And my German wasn't really great at the time, but I went into their house and I saw it and I said, hole slime? That's glulam. My family's been making this since the 1950s. And they were really surprised. They didn't actually believe me, so I had to send over brochures to prove it to them.
Knowledge about the engineering and craft of glulam manufacturing has been handed down through generations at Unalam. At each stage of manufacturing, the team carefully checks to make sure the company's and industry's high-quality standards are upheld.
Each piece of lumber in our warehouse is individually graded. Each lift is a different size, treatment, species, or grade of lumber that we will use to create the glulam for our customers. We also have 4 Stewardship Council certified material.
At our scarfer, we finger joint the ends of individual pieces of lumber to make one continuous ply. Then we cut that ply to the length that we need. Without that cutoff saw, this board could go on forever.
This is where the real magic happens. Here's where we glue together the wood into its final shape. We can make straight beams, arches, S-curves, even a complete circle.
Now here is the centerpiece of our factory. We believe this is the largest two-sided planer in North America. With this machine, we can size any shape, arch, or beam imaginable.
Finishing is where we reveal the beauty of wood in our products. Cutting, drilling, staining, quality control, all before loading and shipping to our customers.
This is our steel shop. This is where we manufacture the custom steel connections for most of our jobs. Doing this in-house allows us to have better fit on our final product.
At Unalam, we like to say, if it can be done with wood, we can do it. Here's an example of one of the extremes. Normally, we would glue to a 3-foot minimum radius. This is a 9-inch spiral, showing again that we like to challenge ourselves.
One factor driving the renewed interest in utilizing wood for construction is increased customer awareness about environmental sustainability. Unalam believes that being friendly to the earth is smart business.
You're starting to hear a lot more about carbon sequestration, life cycle assessment, and the intrinsic cost of building materials. We store our wood waste in our silo and we use it to heat the plant in the winter. We've been doing this since the 1970s, way before it was cool. In addition to the way we source our material and make our product, we run our plant with sustainability in mind.
Since 1892, Unalam has taken pride in its culture of innovation. From beams that helped the walk-up Sky Dome become the world's largest clear-span timber dome in 1977, to arches for the Onondaga Nation's stunning La Crosse Pavilion, built in 2015, Unalam has stayed on the cutting edge of architectural design. As the demand for wood building grows, Unalam continues to expand its product offerings and custom design. So when you're ready to choose a glulam manufacturer for your next project, choose the family-owned company that cares about quality, its customers, and the planet.
Okay, so we're going to welcome Craig Van Cott from Unalam. He's going to answer a few questions for the group, and if you think of anything in between, you can put in the chat box to answer additional questions after we're done with our interview. So Craig, tell me what your role in the company is.
I'm the company president.
Okay. How did you get into the business?
I'm actually the 5th generation of a business that's been in our family since 1892.
Fantastic. And did you always want to go into the business? That was
Always was there for me.
Awesome. That's great. Good. How has business changed over the last 10 years or so?
Well, over the last 10 years, with the beginning of the decade, we were just getting out of the Great Recession. And there was a slow buildup of pent-up demand for building. And we met the needs of our customers, had some really interesting projects.
Seen some of those. They are very interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Good. How about in 2020? How has that been for you?
Well, fortunately, we had somewhat of a backlog when everything started shutting down, but it's been challenging.
Sure. Have you lost some workforce, or is your numbers about the same there, or how's that going?
Well, we set out to try and keep everybody employed through this, and we've done our best, and you know, we've been very creative about that, making sure that those that want to work are able to work.
Great. Good. What have you found any new opportunities in 2020?
Well, we've always been a mass timber type business, and we've seen more and more emphasis on mass timber, and using that as the key word. But we've been doing it for years, so we're tying in with some other types of products, and so that gives us some new opportunities. That's
great. Good. Has the supply chain been affected by the pandemic?
Oh, most definitely. If you've been watching lumber prices, the lumber tripled in cost.
Right.
And it's now going back down, but because there were not only were some of the mills were working at a reduced level, but also with all the people home working on their houses while they were unemployed, and they had the extra money from the extra unemployment and the stimulus, they did building around their houses. So a lot of the people that drive lumber prices drove them right up, like I said, tripled.
Right. Is that starting to normalize a little bit, do you think?
Yes, it is. Yeah. It's coming down rapidly, more rapidly than it went up.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'm hearing that from quite a few members as well.
Yeah.
What currently are your main concerns, and how are you planning for the future right now?
Well, like I said, we've been in business since 1892, so being a family, closely held small business, we're able to roll with whatever comes our way. And there's always something going on, as you know. We build things that are part of the infrastructure, we build things that are tied with housing, we build projects that are tied in with religious facilities, and you know, water parks, indoor hockey arenas, things like that. So as the economy opens up more and more, we'll see some more opportunities.
Sure. Do you have any plans to expand?
Well, we will expand in marketplace, but if you've seen our video of our plant, we've got quite a bit of space in there to do many things.
Yeah, I actually was there back in, I think it was February. Liz gave me a tour.
Oh, great.
Yeah, very nice facility. It was great. It was really
so
interesting. I haven't seen that kind of you know, large bends like that, and that was pretty impressive. It was neat.
Well, as you saw, we have plenty of room to move things around, and the plant is designed to do different size beams and arches and things like that. So
Right, great. Do you import or export resources?
No.
Okay.
We have exported a number of projects, but it's hit and miss. It's not an open market all the time for us.
Sure.
We've never sold a job in Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating from where you are. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. No, they have quite strict rules for importing lumber products because
Sure.
it's hurting their industry.
Right. Sure. Do you believe that keeping production in the United States will strengthen your company going forward?
Well, we're dedicated to that, and
Yep.
so it better strengthen us.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're quite adamant about.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure your customers are excited about that as well.
Yeah.
Let's move to the workforce. Are you facing any challenges in workforce?
Well, before the March, we were very high employment levels here in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard finding replacements for retirees.
Right.
So now it's loosened up a little bit, and people that want to work, we have work available for them.
Good. And are you finding qualified people for the type of work that you're doing, or they're willing to learn skills?
Yes. Yeah. There are a few out there, and
That's good.
they've got to want to work.
Right. Yeah, I know that was a major issue for a lot of our members. Like you say, before the pandemic, of finding people that were interested in working and were able to be trained and excited to learn, even if they didn't have the exact skill set, at least had something that was transferable to some level. Sure.
Yeah.
How do you keep your team motivated with all the COVID things going on and going forward?
Well, we've been very open and proactive with them. We have a small enough workforce that we know many of the people, so we were able to help them stay away from hot spots and make sure that we were concerned about their health and giving them ideas on how to stay safe and stay away from areas where they could catch the virus.
Sure.
And so I think by helping them that way and by keeping them employed, we did the best we could.
Sure. How many people do you have working with you?
We have around 40.
Okay, good. Do you have any mechanisms in place to recognize employees, or?
Yeah, we have a number of bonuses set in place. Matter of fact, one of them that we've been using for years is we have an attendance bonus if they just show up to work on time.
That's great.
Every week.
Right. It's not a lot to ask, but sometimes that does move the needle.
Yeah, it just reminds them so that, when instead of rolling over and hitting the clock and snooze, they say, you know what, I'll be at work on time or I'm going to lose some money.
Right. Great. Are you focusing on investing in anything in particular, facilities or machinery or anything like that?
Well, a lot of technology-wise, and we just this last year we put in a new CNC machine, and so that we're looking for affordable options that will give us pretty good payback.
Sure. Did that process go fairly smoothly, or?
Yeah. We like I said, being a small company, we don't have to go through layers and layers of people to check things out. And,
right. Good. Okay. Anything else that you would like to share with our members about what you're doing or anything like that?
Well, if you get on our website, you'll see some of the neat projects that we've done. Mm-hmm. One of the really, really exciting things that we did over the last 5 years is in the art world. And a matter of fact, three or 4 years ago, we did 4 art sculpture type jobs. And one of them led to our product being used for the Venice, Italy Biennale, which is like the Olympics of the art world every 2 years.
Wow.
And our customer contracted with us to produce the entranceway for the U.S. Pavilion in Venice.
Wow.
And it's a different thing. It's not construction, building a building. Usually we're building a building that covers the art, but this time we actually worked with the artist to build the artwork itself.
Wow, that's really exciting. How
Got a
did
lot
you
of
get to go?
exposure.
Did you get to go see it in Venice then, or?
We sure did.
Yes,
We sure
nice.
did. We went to the grand opening
Excellent.
with the U.S. ambassador and all the people from all over the world. It was very well attended, and I'm so glad it was last year, not
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really exciting when, a smaller plant from upstate New York is highlighted in that way and showing, the different capabilities that people can use that kind of wood for. That's really exciting. That's great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good. Good. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you. We will open this up to our attendees to ask questions. Okay, so that you saw the tours of Unalam, as well as an interview that I did with Craig ahead of time. I believe Craig and Liz from Unalam are going to join live now. So if you have questions, please put them in the box. I see one. Please feel free to add more. We'll wait for Liz and Craig to join us.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
Liz.
How you doing?
Greg. One second. All right.
How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good, good. How's business been?
It's starting, picking up. We're doing some interesting private projects, so that's always fun.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Nice to have a good backlog of public projects too, where the funds have already been allocated, so can't mess with that too much.
Sure.
All right, I figured it out.
Awesome. Good job. How you doing, Craig?
Great.
Good. Thank you for sharing your story with our members. It's great. I do have one question from one of our attendees. He said that he notices that glulams are typically made from softwood. Are hardwoods ever used?
Yeah, we've done some oak and maple. The Penn State did research on maple bridges, and we did all the research with Harvey Mombach at Penn State University. He came up to our plant and tested the everything in a board and the cutting spacing on our planers and everything, just to make sure that the glue would adhere properly to the glulam, to the laminating process of hardwood. We've also worked with some mahogany and some materials like that in the past, but it's few and far between.
Okay, yeah, I'm assuming that presents some unique challenges.
Yeah, it's fun.
Another thing that you just want to do it because you want to show me that you can, right?
Right. Well, we actually, I can't remember what the lumber was, but it was a reclaimed walkway. Do you remember what the lumber was?
From like a 1930s boardwalk in New Jersey.
Yeah, and then we brought that in and had to sort through to find lumber that was suitable, and we glued it for a project, I think in Philadelphia, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at a university in the Philadelphia area.
Yeah,
I don't remember offhand, but
so yeah, that was a real challenge because ipe is very very hard. It's like almost iron.
Yeah. Right.
We did not curve it.
No.
Right. Kieran wants to know how big your production facility is and if you have any plans for expansion.
We have about 100,000 square feet under roof, and if you look on our website, you can see an aerial view of it. It's about 120-foot clear span in the manufacturing end. So we've got room for adding all kinds of equipment if and when we do. And we've got machinery that we've been using since 1963 mixed with the brand new CNC machine that's a year old. And we've got a lot of different tools.
Yes, you do.
So there is plenty of room to expand within our plant.
Right.
We have been doing some testing with glue laminated panels as kind of an alternate option to the CLTs that are coming up. So we're considering, how we could integrate that into what we offer. We have done the panels before for a few like flooring systems, but I think we're figuring out how to do that on a larger scale and more frequently as well.
Okay, that's interesting. Great. Phil says, I love the family continuity with 6 generations. What challenges have you faced integrating generational succession?
Well, I don't want to air our dirty laundry, but every generation has had its challenges. And, back, we started out as a lumber and feed mill, and my great-grandfather that invented the Unadilla silo moved to California, and his father wanted him to come back, and he enticed him to come back, and that's when he invented the Unadilla silo. Yeah. So, there's been challenges like that all along. But if you treat a business as part of the family, it will survive, and it'll grow, and it'll be here for every generation. And that's been my philosophy, and my grandfathers and my fathers before me.
Great. One of the most astonishing things to me is that it is still in the same village. Yeah. It started, we are across the street. Our office is across the street from the original mill from 1892. So it's not only the familial continuity, it's the location and being dedicated to staying in this area. It's
right.
Pretty astounding.
Great. That's excellent. And I'm sure the community appreciates the ability to have their kids grow up and have a place to work, and that's excellent.
Thank you.
Leon wants to know if everything that you do is custom, or do you do any kind of standard things?
Both, but we're the go-to when it comes to custom work.
Okay.
There are plants that don't do custom work, and so they're set up to do stock beams and things like that. Quite economically, but if you say, hey, we need to have a different camber on the beam, or if you need, we finish the beams in our plant as well. We put stain on them and drill holes and put ridge cuts and seat cuts and all kinds of things, where some of the people that are just doing commodity type work don't touch that at all.
Sure.
Yeah, we really specialize, as you saw in the videos, there's a lot of hands involved. There's not a lot of automation. So that's where being a hands-on labor force is really useful, is that adaptability to do highly custom projects. So we have had competitors send projects our way for, spirals, or they're like, Unadilla can do that. So that's one great thing about not being so automated and not being so like up to date but so yeah, we do mostly focus on custom projects.
Great. Good. Keith wants to know if you've been able to integrate any social media tools into your marketing efforts. Craig is in charge
That's
of
what we're doing right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Liz handles our blog that's updated once a week through our website, and we've got a lot of followers. Matter of fact, I was looking at that for our Christmas card list, and and the budget's getting pretty big for sending out Christmas cards to the people following our blog. And then we update our Facebook account, Twitter from time to time. We're very careful, because
right.
you know that you've got to be very careful out there, and we like to spread happy, good news about our product.
Sure, absolutely. Good. Well, yeah, I will be sure to share with our attendees here information about how to find the blog, your website, all that kind of information. Anything else you want to share with our members?
Well, so far, I think this is a great venue. You've done a very nice job, and we appreciate you including Unalam.
Thank you.
It was when getting used to having my picture come up on here. It was. Yeah. I all of a sudden I see myself talking, and I didn't realize you were going to play the interview that we did. So that was a fun part of it.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Everything's new.
Yeah, but we thank you for this and opportunity, and we invite, when things open up, we invite everybody to come and do a plant tour.
Great.
We love nothing more than to take people through, because there's a lot to it that is eye opening. And lots of times, if a customer comes in, they've never heard of us, and they're trying to decide who to buy from, and they come in and they see it, they say, "Wow, you have the capabilities,"
Right.
And we love giving tours.
Right. Great.
And feel free to call or email with any questions, or if you're kicking around an idea, for a project at your house or something like that. We do a lot of, private residential stuff, public, etc. But if, you want to explore pricing options or anything like that, feel free to give us a call, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay. Great. Awesome. Thank you both, Liz and Craig.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was great. Thank you guys for asking questions. I appreciate that very much. So now we are going to get a tech partner update from Claus Staalner with CS Industries Brookhuis. And we're going to watch again a little video, and then Klaus will join us with any questions that you have. So let's hear from Klaus.
Hello from Brookhuis. I am Claus Staalner. I believe I've met many of you before at earlier WCMA meetings. I am here today to give you a little update of some of the latest development from our team. As you may know, our group is involved in 3 different business segments, being special electronics, directed into measurement and data handling businesses, clean room technology, where we measure particles in a clean room for the electronic industry like Sony, Panasonic, and the like, and the strength and moisture detections within our own industry, as you may recall from previous meetings. You have all heard about the importance of moisture measurements and control of same from Dr. Jean Weingart, both from industry publications and presentations at our own meetings. Most of you likely measure moisture using the handheld meters, either the one that you just saw or a pen meter as shown here. In either event, the issue is the same, being that you know about the moisture contents only from where you measure specifically, and as such can have a fair bit of variations in each board and from board to board. Here you see a line of inline meters that will solve this very issue. Inline meters will, as the name implies, measure each board in a production line and will measure the complete board. This variety may not be an issue for you, but if you make flooring or boards for glue up like kitchen cabinets or panel doors and the like, well, then it is a very different matter. An inline meter, whether linear or transversal, will measure most or all of the board surfaces, and thus will give you much more accurate knowledge of each board. An inline meter will measure touchless and will measure each board, providing you with either a peak measurement or an average measure, as each board allowing you to make production decisions before you spend too much time processing a too wet or too dry board. There are many different measurement options, depending on each company's production line and of course the application itself. The latest and greatest technology offer you easy to set up systems, touchscreen technology controllers, and instant results and knowledge, as well as broad statistics that you can use for quality control, kiln operation checks, incoming lumber quality, and client insurances when shipping your product out to your own clients. We even offer cloud-based statistics allowing multiple locations to share data simultaneously. However, products like your traditional touchless capacitance meters and traditional pen meters are still available for sure. But as mentioned, these are all better than no measurements at all for sure, but highly subjective, as we all now know. We hope to have given you a little insight into the latest moisture detection technology, brief as it was. If you would like to know more, of course, please feel free to contact us after your virtual meetings and we can talk further. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your virtual plant tour event.
Okay, great. I think we have Klaus that will be joining us. Thank you guys for asking questions. I do appreciate it. So if you have anything for Klaus, go ahead and put those in the question box. Good morning, Klaus.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning, everyone. Doing very well. Sitting in sunny South Carolina.
Oh, is it sunny there?
Oh, it is a beautiful day. Beautiful fall day.
Very nice. I have snow outside my window, so I would trade in a minute.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to somewhere snowy shortly, so I know how that goes.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks for giving our members a quick update. I don't see any questions, but is there any other information that you want to share with them, or how's business?
I see some questions listed here, but I don't know if they specifically are for me or they're from earlier presentations. So
I think that was the earlier one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if there's any questions, of course, I'm available to give answers at any time of your convenience, and of course, either phone, email, however people would like to communicate.
Okay. Yep. I'll share that with everybody. And is business pretty good for you? Have you been busy?
Yes, we are extremely busy. I have never seen business so strong in my 30 years. It is incredible.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Necessarily understand the concept in the COVID times, but we ain't complaining. So hopefully it's good for everybody. We know there's issues with labor and those type of things, but with interest being low and everything, it's very, very good times.
Yeah, we're going to hear from an economic forecaster tomorrow, and he is saying now is a good time to invest in machinery that's going to be helping your manufacturing facilities. So yeah, absolutely.
I think it's good for everybody. I think it's absolutely good for manufacturers. It's good for us. It's good for the machinery side, and yeah, it's strangely good times. And meanwhile, we ain't traveling. We're sitting home, and
I miss it.
It is unique. It is unique, but at the same time, and I don't know, do we have the whole audience here or?
Yep.
Or okay, so what I have found with this COVID time, and I don't know if anybody else finds the same thing, but times as difficult as they may be with the change and all that, but it is kinder times. It is more personal. I live on Zoom. I used to travel all the time. Now I'm home, but I spent at least 50% of my day often on Zoom. And with this interaction, you see people, you talk to people are sitting in their home, the cats walks across the desk and the dog barks and all these things that you say you shouldn't be doing on Zoom. And, here am I sitting in a non-formal attire and all that. But when the day is over, we become closer. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I think it's great. I think it's good for business. I think it's good for people. I think it's good all around.
Yes.
So if anything good has come out of that, I think that's for sure one of them.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Okay, well, yep, I will be sure. And speaking of dogs, there's mine just shaking his little and getting ready to get up and let's go.
Mine is sleeping, so this is a good time for Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I will be sure to share your information with all of our attendees if they want to get in touch with you. And again, we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to take a break. I've got too many screens open here. Hold on just a second. So it is, let's come back in about 15 minutes. The dog is angry. I better let him out. So we'll join again at 11 o'clock Eastern time, 10 Central, so 15 minutes. During that 15 minutes, after we close this session here, first you will get a little pop-up asking you to rate AirMate. Go ahead and do that quickly. It's just 5-star for however many stars. But then you will be placed in a lounge and there are tables. And I really encourage you to take a seat at any of the tables, have a conversation with the other attendees. Obviously go fill up your coffee, check your emails, do all of that. But do try to interact with each other. This was one platform that we found this functionality, and I thought it was interesting. And I thought that people might find some use in it of actually being able to chat with each other. So grab a seat. And we will start the next session right at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central. That tour is going to be of Bailey Lumber's Smyrna plant. And so you're going to see some good things there. So we will see you back here in 15 minutes. Thank you.